Hey guys, so I'm finally doing my brow tutorial. This is like long awaited for me, I guess, because I've always wanted to do my current brow routine. But yeah, so if you want to learn how to go from this ugly brow to this nice, clean, sculpted, but natural brow, just keep on watching. I'm probably going to talk to this whole tutorial because I take my brows very serious and they're important to me. So I start off with my e.l.f. eyebrow duo brush and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Ebony, and I just first line the bottom of my brow into the shape I want. It's pretty much the same shape, but I give it a nice sharp edge basically. And I also extend the line just a little bit at the tail just because I'm missing a little bit of hair there. And I do it straight out instead of down because since I have slightly hooded eyes, I want to create more space, not take some more away. So I just go ahead and I keep darkening the line just to make it to the opaqueness that I like for my brow or my hair basically. And then I go ahead and start on the top. Now I don't start at the very beginning because you don't want it to be too boxy up there, but I make a parallel line to the bottom and I just extend it just in the same direction that the tail is going. Now I know the tail is like kind of thick looking, it doesn't look sharp at the end, but that's what I use the concealer for. So I'm just going with the product very lightly. You just want to dip your brush in maybe once and just use whatever's on the brush to fill in your brows. You want to leave gaps in the brow to make it look natural. You don't want to fill it up with product, you just want to shade it in. So now I'm just going over the line just to define them a little bit more, and I'm adding a few light brush strokes, upward brush strokes in the front of my brow just to create hairs because it's a little bit sparse up there. There's a few hairs that are kind of like invisible. Just want to make them stand out a little bit more, and I'm just going within the brow just to shade it a little bit more so they stand out a little bit more. How many times I'm going to say that? And just to make them a little darker. So now once I feel like the shape is similar to my other brow, I go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer and my angle brush and also a little bit of my Sephora Gel Serum Concealer, and I make a little mixture. I like the Gel Serum Concealer because it's a little yellow and I like the consistency of the LA Girl Pro Concealer and also the color, but these two together just help match my foundation a lot better than them by themselves. So I just like to mix them together, about 1/4 of a dime of each on the back of my hand, and I use the little brush just to mix it all together. And I basically just follow the same line on the bottom and I just clean up any excess product, maybe a few brush strokes that, you know, were a little out of line. And I just make a nice clean sharp brow with the brush. This is also where I sharpen up my tail and make it a nice point. Now since I'm growing out my brows, I kind of have to cover them. So first I like to go over them backwards, then forwards, and then I go over them backwards again. This helps them to be completely covered because sometimes you can still see the hairs when you brush them down. You can still see like the black hairs. So I just use that method to cover them up, you know, from every angle basically. And now I'm just bringing on the concealer, using the brush just to blend it out towards my eyelid. So then basically this preps to be blended into my foundation. Super easy, super simple way to clean up your brows, and this honestly gives me life. Not even kidding you. And I just make sure the line, the concealer line, is kind of like is it perpendicular? No. Is very basically even with the other brow. And now I just go in on the top. I usually do not do this because I think it's an unnatural look, but since I've said I'm growing out my brows, I have to clean up the top because there's a lot of hairs there that are growing in that looks a little funky. So I'm cleaning up the top, and then I immediately wipe away the line just so it doesn't look harsh, because I hate those harsh concealer lines. And I'm just creating a nice point, nice arch, and then I just keep wiping away the line so it looks blended and it goes into my foundation, which I'll put on later, very evenly. Perfectionist in me was just adding a little more brush strokes to the front to make it a little more even with the other one. I'm also going to try to straighten out my right brow, even though I ended up making it look exactly the same anyway, but that's just a perfectionist in me. I saw something that didn't need to be fixed, which really didn't need to be fixed out all that much, because these brows were okay by themselves, but yeah. So here I am going in to try to straighten the top of the brow, because you can see the little dip in it, but I ended up putting another dip in it. I don't even know why, but I'm using the Maybelline Sculpting Brow Mascara in Transparent to basically set my brow hairs in place. Most of the product is at the ball of the brush, which is kind of annoying, but I deal with it. And I kind of just use this to define the hairs and set them in place for the rest of the day. So here I am trying to make top of this brow straight like the other one, but you know, I'm not perfect. So excuse the dip in my brow, but just know that brows are sisters, not twins. It's almost impossible to get them identical. If you can, girl, all power to you. Keep doing your thing. But this is a finished product. So I hope you guys like how I do my brows and you learned something new today. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys so very soon. Thank you. Bye.